What's up, Sports-A-Delic? What is up? What is up? Welcome to our cigar series, and of course, in spirits. It's a tough night here in Atlanta. But I tell you what, come on over here in the studio. Me and Mr. Carrington, we're gonna break it down for you. Sports-A-Delic, what is up? What is up? I am Reem. You got Blue Reem right here. And as always, you got James goddamn Carrington.
What's going on?
And I know you're pissed.
Yeah.
James is, Grady baby, born and raised.
Yeah.
He support all of the Georgia teams. And if you go back to our segment last Saturday, he was more than confident that the defense would prevail.
Yeah.
And seemingly the bottom fell out of it.
The bottom and the ship crashed and the boat sunk and everything else to it. But,
well, I'm going to tell you for me, I'm just going to tell you my 3 issues with the game. And
okay.
You can then kind of tell me what you think. Bryce Young, a.k.a. Tim Duncan. I call him Tim Duncan because if you're familiar with Tim Duncan, the big fundamental played in the NBA, he always has this blank look on his face. You can't look at his face and determine what's going on in the game. And Bryce Young, quarterback for Alabama, is the same way. And I really knew after the first half, 365 yards of total offense, that there was going to be some adjustments. That's number 1. Number 2, I couldn't understand why Georgia became fixated on just the tight end. Now that freshman, this cat, Bennett.
Yes. No, that's quarterback.
Bowers.
Yes.
Yeah, the tight end Bowers, freshman. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. He's only going to be there 2 more years.
Yeah.
Truthfully, he could probably just go ahead and bounce now. But I couldn't understand where the other receivers were. Okay? And then the third thing, I could not believe you all had an opportunity to cut it to 11 towards the end of the third. The entire fourth quarter to go. Kick the field goal. And, you're down by 11. Right? But they go for it on a 4th and 9. That's fine, but let's really go with a 4th and 9 play. Those were my 3 takeaways.
I think that when from the opening start, it came out the box and everybody was, okay, they were running the ball, they were moving the ball. Bennett I think he was like 6 for 6 going into that. And then all of a sudden, you can just look in he did the eye test. And the eye test was that this maybe was too big of a stage for him.
You think that's what it was?
I think, you're going to come in with a amount of butterflies in, but, you're supposed to be able to get ready. And I think that sometimes stage might be too big for certain players, as long as the pressure is not on. Playing a weekly game, the pressure is on you to win. But in an SEC championship game, they're going to. Correct. And that they're going to, you got Saban back there. So that they're going to adjust. And what did they do? They adjust. They got pressure on them. We didn't get pressure on their quarterback at all. I mean, you could just see the guys sitting out there like, okay, well, they're not going to let us in. So, but.
Well, to Bennett's credit, I mean, 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but
major.
That's not he didn't have a bad day's work.
No, he didn't have a bad day's work, but you cannot make mistakes at critical times. You know, playing, professionally, even collegially, all it takes is one play to change the whole atmosphere.
Yes. Yeah.
You can be going, going, and somebody make a one play, and I think that pick six, it took the sails out.
Well, yeah, because it seemed like you all were getting some spunk, getting
Correct.
to go. Neither team had a super running attack.
No, they didn't.
But it looked like to me that Alabama discovered something in that secondary, and they decided we're just going to air it out. That's what it looked like. Georgia, coming into this game, was the number one ranked defense in every category.
Correct.
They gave up a total of 536 yards.
Which you can't do. You definitely can't do it against Alabama.
536. And then, oh my God, you all were like 36% from your third down completions. And they were right at 50%. They were 7 for 14. Yeah. You got to win on third down.
I think one of the most critical plays also was when Young scrambled. The guy had him in his grasp. He pulled away, and then he messed around and did an option play to the guy. That was like, okay.
You can't
do that.
It. You can't teach it. You can't coach it.
No, you can't.
That's when you know someone just has the it factor.
They got the IQ for it.
Right.
Because he knew that the guy was over there. He was going to draw the guy in. And what he did, he flipped it over and got 9-10 more yards, out of that run.
You know what else stood out on that play? He also knew that he was going to have to sacrifice his body a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was willing to ultimately do that.
Yeah.
And my God, Jay Williams.
That guy,
7 catches, 184.
That guy got some burners on him, man. Somebody need to check his feet.
Speed kill.
Because that kid, let me tell you something. The guy was running in an angle, he still couldn't catch him.
Right. He was just looking at him like, what?
And he was just...
Did you see when he kicked it in on him, though?
Yeah.
Like, it's like they got side by side, and he's like, hey, I'll holler at you.
Yeah, you ain't seen no speed like that since my cousin, who played for UT.
Who that is?
Mr. Samuel Grady.
Okay.
Yeah, so, that guy had world-class speed.
Yeah, speed kills.
Yeah.
At every level, in every sport. It just kills.
And
but one of my ex-supervisors played fullback. He's on that team with Robert Edwards of UGA. And we always kind of have banter back and forth. He told me from day one when they hired Kirby, he said, Kirby is a defensive coordinator. He's not that guy. And he's afraid to beat, Saban. He told me that they were not going to win this game. And he anticipated, because he said, where do you go from here? You're number one. And you get slaughtered like that. He said, where do you go? Where do you go from here? You've been exposed. Now the blueprint is out there. And then these are, quote unquote, as they say, young folks, young kids. So it becomes mentally, what did this loss do? Now they're going to have about 30 days to get back on track. Because I still think that they're going to.
They technically should.
This is my top 4. You just tell me. I think after the smashing that Michigan is, putting on Iowa tonight, they're going to win the Big Ten championship.
Correct.
They're riding real high. They just smashed the second best defense in the country, Ohio State. And I think what will happen, Michigan by right should move up to 1.
Correct.
I think that Alabama will be number 2.
Okay.
Should be number 2.
Okay.
I think that Cincinnati, will be. I think they'll stay because I think they're at 3.
Mm-hmm.
because they're not, Power 5.
Correct.
I think they'll stay. And I think Georgia, will be 4. I'm picking first round semifinals, Michigan against Georgia, Alabama against Cincy.
I can see that, and I think that's a good review of it, because you don't want to put Alabama and Georgia in the first game.
No, nobody wants to see it again. It's certainly not. If this was any indication of what it may be like, but I will say,
I don't think it's going to be that way.
But it's difficult to beat a team twice, especially in close, proximity of a 30-day period.
Correct.
That's. But we're talking about Kirby Smart here. I mean, is he going to dig deep into the game film and come up with the necessary adjustments? Because I just hadn't. I mean, I just couldn't understand why you wouldn't open it up. I mean, he got more and more vanilla as the game went on.
Pickens came back. That should have been one of the biggest targets that he had. You got the young kid.
He had 2 targets for 41 yards.
Yeah, and that's
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. But as a quarterback, sometimes you can get caught up in zoning a person, and it's obvious that all throughout the year, Bennett has been very safe to go to the young tight end.
Bowers.
The kid is going to be. He's going to be
that dude.
Yeah, he's going to be that dude, and I don't think he's going to go 4 years.
Alabama's receiver, Mitchie. I know they're going to have to do an MRI.
Correct.
And he had 6 catches for 97, and then Bolden, he comes in, he gets 5 catches for like 55 yards. And you go on the other side, and you have the tight end, stats are out of this world. 10 catches, 139 yards. Pickens, like I said, two targets. And he caught both of them, for 41 yards. And then Burton is a solid possession receiver from what I've seen. And he only had 3 targets for 36 yards.
But
was that the game plan?
I don't know what his game plan was. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that he should have adjusted. If you come out of Saban regime, you're supposed to have a certain amount of IQ that goes along with it. And so it goes to the same situation, whereas Saban adjusted, Kirby didn't. Kirby came in riding on the fact that his defense was going to give you those necessary stops. I guess because he was looking at Alabama's game field throughout the year. This is the playoffs. You're going to play differently in the playoffs. It is what it is. So you can't go into the same game plan that got you this far. You're going to have to adjust. And you got to remember, I told you got to adjust quarter per quarter, play per play. And if you calling stuff that's not getting you any yardage, you got to scrap it.
Well, I'm going to tell you some other things. You guys, come on back. We're going to continue this discussion. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We just kind of want to finish our discussion with the SEC championship game. I know the ACC tournament is jumping off, and my prediction there is that Wake Forest will, win the ACC tournament.
They looking good, but Pitt has a nice quarterback. That quarterback is nice.
I don't know. Well, I was proud of my Clemson Tigers because we smashed Wake Forest.
Yeah,
we smashed them, but our defense has kept us in the games all year.
Correct.
Our offense started to click the last 2 or 3 games, which is too little too late. The adjustments, I do think sometimes, I'm going to say this, sometimes a team is just better. Sometimes they're just better.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Because the only time that I have ever seen a Nick Saban team quit and there was no adjustments. It's the 2018-2019 season, against Clemson.
Correct.
Because people forget that they scored 16 points in the first half and nothing, and only had the ball for 3 and out once in the third quarter. But it's like, I just think sometimes you can just be better in every area. It looked like to me that Georgia wasn't, it's like they had no clue any of the plays that Alabama was going to be running, any of their tendencies. Like this is their first time ever seeing this team in their life.
It was too many open passes in the middle of the field. Yeah. And so were the linebackers cheating to come in, or should
But why? He's
because
not hitting the ball.
They were not getting any pressure.
Right,
with that front four, so they were bringing them back in. But yeah, they should have expanded the field. And okay, I'll give you a running back 5 or 6 yards, but you're not going to throw it over me. And if you're throwing it over me, you got a linebacker in the front, you got a safety in the back. We're going to collapse on you. That pass when the old boy caught it over the middle and ran it in, where was the safety?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that was in zone coverage or that was man-to-man, but it was too open in the middle of the field. So
Bryce Young, that second touchdown throw in the end zone.
It was nice.
I mean, the window was like this. Just enough for the football to squeeze through there. I mean, he threw it on the... But here's what I'm going to say. We know what happened in 2017.
Correct.
I think you guys kind of flip-flopped where you all won.
Correct. We won the SEC championship, and then we lost in the in the title win.
And so maybe it'll kind of flip-flop. Here's what I'm going to tell you, and I think this is good news. This is good news. Since the playoff era, only 28% of the time, the number one seed, you're ranked number one, has won the championship.
Okay. But you got what? When you got Saban back there, that 28% is a...
Well, I just think that sometimes it's good to just have the pressure of the number one off your back.
Off your back. Yeah.
And that could be something that could fuel... and I think it happened for Clemson in 2016 when Pittsburgh came into Clemson and smacked us down. We lost the number one ranking. We went on to win, the national championship. But you could see that the team was just like, okay, that's over with. Yeah. Because you're playing to win, but it's almost like you add this extra. You're not just playing to win.
But you're also trying to go. You're also trying to go undefeated. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. It just adds, too much sometimes to the mix.
Yeah.
And so
I will agree.
So that's kind of inspiring. And man, I was all pumped up and excited. Pulled out the H. Upman vintage Cameroon. But I told you out the gate, it was either going to be a celebratory stick or it's going to be
a hardship.
Yeah. Borderline repass.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I need more of this.
And I'm gonna put his name out here. There's this guy. His name is Sean Fox. Cowboy fan. Do you know what he posted on Facebook?
What's that?
He posted on Facebook. He didn't know that the Falcons was playing tonight.
Oh, wow.
And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry, that's Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he did.
And what
Sean, I apologize, but I had to put it out there because that was wild. I told you was wrong for that.
Where does Sean live?
He lives in Douglasville.
Oh, wow. So he lives here in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, and he's talking bad about Atlanta.
Well, because they also recently smashed you guys too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man. But remember what I told you about Dallas? They look really good. They're shiny. But, man, this fool's gold. It's fool's gold. It's fool's gold, Sean. It's fool's gold, Sean. You know, since you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, let's be realistic. You know, you guys ain't seen nothing since Emmett.
Damn.
And every year it comes out with the same thing. What about them boys?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited about all the things that could go down, this season. You said that.
It's going to be interesting to see. When do you guys play them again?
We play them on the 12th. Yeah, we have them twice in,
That's going to be an interesting game.
Weeks.
Are y'all playing them in Washington or are y'all playing them in Dallas?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a rivalry, and we're in the same division. We got to play twice. And home field don't even matter in a rivalry. You know how it is when you all battling the Saints. I mean, you all could just as easily go over there to DeKalb Memorial Stadium
and play. Yeah,
it's still gonna be the same.
Still gonna be the same.
Got to tell you about this vintage. This is what is called an oldie but goodie. It's rich and woody, flavor profile. It's kind of emerged from the Cuban legacy profile.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Let me do my fact check, and as you can see, it has this reddish Cameroon, wrapper. The core of the cigar is real complex.
Yeah.
Nicaraguan, Dominican, and a Peruvian long filler tobacco.
Yeah. Nice oils on it.
Yeah.
Nice veins.
Beautiful construction.
Yeah. It's a nice smoke.
Medium. And then, it has various notes of chestnuts and sweet spices, coffee beans, cashews. It's a cookie.
Yeah, roasting on the open fire, right?
Right. But why don't we give it a whirl? Why don't I go ahead and wipe this bad boy up?
Wow.
I told you guys before that you can enjoy any kind of cigar that you want to, but I would say really start to up your game and experience as many just straight medium cigars as you can. I think that'll help you then grow into your medium to full body.
Correct.
I know a lot of times people enjoy just smoking that one particular cigar, but you're really cheating yourselves. I mean, because this is exciting because there's always something vintage, like this H. Upman vintage, and it's been aging. It tastes like it's been aged.
This is a tasty cigar. It's a really tasty cigar. And evidently it's euphoric for you.
Okay, check this out.
Okay.
Why don't we help these folks that like to do, some little low-level betting on the NFL games? So we're going to go ahead and give you our picks. And if you go with these, you're probably going to win. We got the Colts. They're going to be at the Texans. The Texans has nothing left.
Correct.
The Colts, barring the world coming to an end,
should take that game.
Yep,
I agree.
The Vikings are going to be at the Lions.
Vikings still should take that game.
I know, but are the Lions just due for a win? I'm going to call, that's going to be my upset pick, and I'm going to tell you why. Law of averages. We know that, Ohio State had been pounding down Michigan, for the last 8 tries. And what happened? They get smashed. We know that the Buffalo Bills have been smashing Jacksonville. What happened? Jacksonville sneaks in there and beat them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be my upset pick because you got to remember Delvin Cook is out with the dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, but that's still a big upset pick.
Yeah, it is, but that's what
a big upset pick.
Hey, that's what an upset is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I'm not going to rib you because was tonight an upset?
Yeah, it was upset.
Was it a big one?
It was an upset, but we have an opportunity to recoup.
Was it a deep throating type?
I don't know about no deep throating type situation. It may be a cut on the arm, and it'll heal. I don't know if it's a deep gash, down to the white meat type of deal. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's a situation where as Georgia can come in and recoup, and if they get back to the basics of applying pressure, stopping that initial run, and anytime that you have a mobile quarterback, you have to play that into your playbook because he's a passer, but he still has the ability to get out. I mean, in that play when he optioned over, that was a.
But I told some of the people that were around me while I was watching the game, the X factor is Bryce Young. He's a reluctant runner. He doesn't like to run.
Correct.
I said, but Georgia.
I mean, he's a small guy too.
But Georgia's defense will force him to run, and if he decides I'm just going to go ahead and do it, that means he's not accounted for. The chains will keep moving, and that's just kind of how
Correct.
it's laid out. The Giants going into the Dolphins
in Miami.
Yeah,
that's a hard game to call.
I'm going with Miami.
I'm gonna go with Miami also. The only one that I don't go with you so far is the Vikings game. I think that the Vikings are going to pull that one out.
Well, here's where on the next pick we're going to differ because I'm going with Tampa Bay over the Falcons, and you got them at home.
Yeah. That's a hard one to call because
wait. You all come on back. I got to talk to James. I need to have him understand what the call he needs to make. Just come on back.
Okay. That's going to be an ugly game. Because if Atlanta don't understand where they are, and, let's be realistic. They ain't got no receivers. You got a tight end who you trying to force him to come into his own. So we'll talk about it when we start it back up.
James, you got Tampa Bay coming into town.
Yeah.
And
Tom motherfucking Brady.
Is there somebody else in here with us?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I heard that echo too.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you have Tom.
Motherfucking Brady. I mean, that's...
Okay, well,
this
okay.
man.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like the Atlanta football team and the fans and everyone just be like, there he is, and just I don't know. Matt Ryan needs to understand that Gage, your receiver Gage, is open all the time. I don't know why I don't throw this guy the ball enough. Patterson, I told you before, he should be considered for MVP. He's the only guy in the league leading his team in rushing and reception yards and touchdowns.
And now he's going to play defense.
Yeah, and he's all over the field.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, when it comes to kickoff and or punt return, he's one of the best in the NFL, to do it.
Correct.
Because I think he passed Hester. You remember Hester for Chicago? I like him. I like him because he's just a football player.
Yeah.
You want me to play running back coach? Fine.
I'll do it.
You want me in the slot? Fine.
I'll do it.
You want me on defense?
I'll do it.
You know.
If you want me to pull up some pom-poms, I don't know about that one, but
He probably will do it. I mean, his hair's as long as mine. Anyway.
Hey, T.O. did it. T.O. did it.
My most memorable crazy moment with T.O. was, it had
to be the Sharpie.
The Sharpie.
The Sharpie was because where did you get the Sharpie, and how are you playing football with a Sharpie in your sock?
I was just thinking he must have total alligator skin.
You have to be.
Now we have the E-girls. I'm sorry. The Eagles going against the Jets.
Eagles.
I agree. The Cardinals and the Bears. Tyler Murray's back.
Cardinals.
Woo! Now this is the one that's tough for me.
Which one is that?
Them damn Chargers and the Bengals. And the Bengals play at home. Burrow is that dude at home, but on the road.
Chargers they are a funny team because their quarterback is playing lights out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's playing lights
on
out.
The road.
He's playing lights out. But Cincinnati playing at home, I think Cincinnati's going to take that one.
I got to come back to it. And then the Jags against the Rams.
Rams.
And that kind of summarizes the 1 o'clock picks. And I'm just going to remain undecided with the Chargers. Go with James' pick. He's saying Cincy, go with that. Now we get into the 4 o'clock games. We got the 49ers at Seattle. And there's nothing left with Seattle, I don't think.
49ers is playing some good ball now.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually playing really good ball. As much as I would love for Seattle to take it because Russell is my fantasy quarterback, but I just don't.
He let you down this week.
He let me down 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. 3 weeks in a row, yeah.
Since he returned, let's just be real. Since he returned. Acho was talking, and it was like, what's going on with Russell Wilson? And he said respectfully, he said, he's doing too much. And it wasn't until he actually said it and I heard it that I was like, damn, that is a lot. Because he said, in 5 years, you've gotten divorced, remarried, 3 kids, foundation, record label, red carpet, always selfies, radio show, all of this, stuff. And, we know that he was leaning towards the whole Sierra piece because supposedly it's kind of true. I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, but when she gets involved in your life and all that she needs sucks the life out of you. And so when he said, that's a lot, and what made him prolific probably was his focus. And when you're trying to be father of the year, stepfather of the year, husband of the year, you've told the world that your greatest fear isn't dying. Your greatest fear is losing Sierra. So, he just has Sierra on the brain and just doing too much.
But let me ask you a question. A man of his caliber, I understand supporting your wife, but where does that change your goal as far as what you're supposed to go out there and do? Because as a wife, don't you think that she would see, okay, well, it seems like as if this is affecting. So let me draw back some, so that you can focus on playing ball. Because right now, I don't think she's selling any records, is she? No, I mean, no. I'm not trying to say it in that aspect. But if this is your bread and butter, and this is the guy that, you know that he's a good guy, that he's going to have life after football, and we also know that the NFL means what? Not for long.
You mean you similar to the Obamas, just kind of take a back seat.
Yeah, let him do what he needs to do.
Just be wife and let's do this other
Correct.
stuff.
Because it is a lot when you have to appear on red carpets and then you got to appear on shows and everybody sitting there talking all
and
this.
Constantly uploading your whole entire life. In the world. There's a lot of guys in the NFL that are married to celebrities. It's just we don't get to know in their every move. I don't know. My thing is if it's working, for them, then so be it. But we're talking about Sierra. This is someone who gave Future an ultimatum. Like, in order for us to try to work through this, I need the passwords to all your social media accounts.
And why?
Just,
Why? Why would any man do that?
Well, Future, he was held to the no.
Well, I think that what it boils down to is that you married this man, so you have to trust him at some point. So why is it that you got to go through his thing? Because
they didn't get married because that's what he said. He shut it down.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't believe the hype." I called it off, which is neither here nor there. I think with whatever they're trying to do together, I do see Seattle being too small of a market.
Yeah.
And she's an attention whore. Let's just be real.
So.
But who you got? Who you got with the Ravens and Steelers?
Ravens. You heard this? Ben is retiring.
Ben should have retired 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, but this is the thing about it.
I'm not clapping because he's retiring. I'm clapping for a job well done. Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
And don't, keep.
You got two Super Bowls. Yeah.
Tarnishing your legacy by looking like a putz.
I think that when you come in the league 6'6", 6'5", 250 pounds, you have a tendency to take a lot of hits, because of your size. You're going to try to go in, and after a while, them hits going to start to bear. I mean, they're going to start to add up on you.
Well, he was mobile now because he used to run. Now he changed moving.
And he got popped too.
Yeah, well, it's football. Well,
so
the game of the week, though, it's actually Washington, the football team, going into the Raiders. And I'm not picking Washington because that's my team. I'm picking Washington because the Raiders have the 24th ranked rushing defense. And we have some hella backs, and we got to be able to run the ball.
Yeah, but you're playing in Las Vegas, right? Or are they playing at home?
In
Vegas.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard one.
James, these are professional athletes. These are men.
Yeah.
Atlanta's
a professional team too.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. But this is what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
Do you really think that it matters? Like, I haven't seen it matter. Like, Tom Brady seems to do what he's going to do, whether he's playing home or away. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Tom Brady is 55 years old, and he's playing like he's 25 years old. I don't know whatever water he's drinking, but they need to bottle it up and sell it.
It's that holy water that they sell, 1-800.
Yeah.
Holy water.
1-800, $1 million a bottle. So
my pick is Washington. Who are you picking?
My pick is the Raiders.
Okay. Just come on back, and we're going to get into some discussion. Sports-A-Delic, welcome back. Please, hit that like, subscribe, and share the content. And also, we want your comments. Please, if nothing else, this is James Carrington. He brings the information. His heart is hurting. His Falcons let him down. And Georgia done shocked the world in the worst way because nobody's seen this coming. Let's just be real.
Please send me some support. Please.
Send James some support. But,
just let me know it's going to be okay. If I got to wait till next year, just let, hey, bro, it's like that sometimes.
But you have to admit, this cigar is really helping.
Yeah, it really, truly. That and this drink that's about gone.
But why do you think that people sleep on the Cameroon wrappers? Like, just don't know about it?
They just don't know about it. A lot of people don't know about the Cameroon wrapper. It's an expensive wrapper. So, a lot of times people just, they gear towards something that they know. And I don't think enough knowledge has been put into a lot of the shops that you go into about the difference on Cameroon. So,
as well as the Sumatra.
Correct.
As well as Sumatra. So what we're saying to you, do this on purpose. Be very intentional. Go out and get you a Sumatra leaf and a Cameroon leaf cigar. Smoke them a couple of 3 days apart with your favorite, bubbly, whatever that may be. And send us the comments and tell us what
your experience was.
Right, because that's what we want. We want to, have that dialogue, ask us questions, advice, tips, or whatever. And we're always open to suggestions as well, as it pertains to some cigars that you might think we should try, because we're certainly down, with that.
Thank you.
We have, there's a topic that I wanted to throw out here.
Okay.
As it relates to the cigar world. As it relates to the cigar world.
Okay.
Are you aware of how the sale of cigars skyrocketed during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Did it save your life? Or somebody else's life?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I mean, with everything that's going on with the COVID and, people having a tendency to just try to find some little piece of time that they can sit back and enjoy, not look at TV and look at everybody's acting a fool, the Karens that are out there, the Kevins that are out there. I mean, we've got more content on that.
I wish a Karen would.
Or Kevin.
Right, or Ken.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I have seen some crazy stuff, with these Karen folks. And
it's entitlement.
And Karen can be male or female.
Yeah.
It's the behavior, the sense of entitlement. And this lady was on her lunch break, parked legally in a spot on the side of, the street in front of where she works, finishing her lunch. And the woman comes over, she rolls down the window, hi, can I help you, type thing. Are you a Black Lives Matter supporter or are you a Trump supporter? And she's like, excuse me? And she's like, just answer the question.
Why?
And I'm saying, what?
And who are you?
You know what I would have said to her? Okay, I will answer you. Get in front of the car and I'll answer you. That's what I would have told her.
I mean, listen, people have a tendency to they believe everything that they see on TV instead of finding out for themselves. You have people out there like that. Anything that comes across TV, it got to be true because it was on TV. No, it's not. Stories are led. That's why you have sweep. That's why you have, articles when they come on, everybody's flashing and they keep rehashing it.
Trending.
Yeah, it's trending because we are now living in a trend society. We're now living in, you got people that are following. Prime example, the young lady Brittany Renner. who had a baby by the young basketball player. Prime had, Deion Sanders had her come and talk to the kids on his team, and that was an amazing interview
about how not to get caught.
Correct.
I don't think it's going to do any good, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. That's these guys know this, but not in a disrespectful way. But I mean, you can't really control if you look like a brick, or a brick with some chips off of it or whatever.
Correct.
And you have millions of dollars, and you have always wanted or fantasized about having this beautiful woman on your arm, and now you can. All of that goes out the window because he wants to be the guy, that walks in the room and everybody's like, woo, 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 woo.
But you don't want to be the guy that walks into a room with someone that has so much baggage, and everybody done took a turn on it, because at that point,
Russell Wilson said to really love someone, that their baggage and their scars are beauty marks, and to prove it, Sierra did a song called Beauty Marks.
Russell's the same.
Damn, who is this person that?
Yeah.
Who is this person that's in?
Hey, listen. I mean,
Hold on.
Yeah. But listen, what it boils down to is this: if that works for Russell, that's fine. But majority of the guys out here, NFL, NBA, soccer, baseball, whatever, they're not going to bring someone with that type of baggage home to meet their mother. And you look at the situation that happened with the baby and the other, the young chick that sings. Get out of my house. I mean, she just had a baby from him.
The baby.
Yeah, and that's just when you look at it, it's a great situation. Okay, hey, if that's what you're looking for, to put knots on your belt. Okay, yeah, I had her.
But
whatever
that's what
situation
I'm
may
be. We can't. Let me tell you what we can't do. You can't speed up this frontal lobe. Usually, young ladies, young men that don't make those familiar mistakes, they have a certain support team around them that keeps them incubated from some of this wildness. And it goes back to no, the yes man. That's why R. Kelly, yes. No, like Lamar Jackson. You talk about that he only has 4 people that's tight in his circle, and he, he's not out there in these streets. He understands this is my craft, and it was reported by these mentors, the people he has around him, when he has an issue or something he's concerned about, he brings it to them. Hey, so what do you think about this, and troubleshoot it, and then make a decision.
Okay, so he's reviewing his options.
Right, well, you got to have a support system, because in the black community, and I'm saying it this way because I am black, in the black community, being a friend is predicated on lying for me. Being a friend is covering for me. It's never really being the person that says, your shit stinks. No, you're not gonna.
But people need that though.
Right, but that's
because it keeps you humble.
But that's why. This is why these guys, no matter how many people you put in front of them to have these conversations about not getting caught up, it still continues to happen, because these friends are people like, and they feel that obligation to look out for. I mean, look what it cost Michael Vick, and thank God that he's been able to recover, because you grow up eating mayonnaise sandwiches and eating off the floor, and sharing one Chico stick.
Yeah.
Now I can respect and appreciate LeBron James. I'm gonna pay for your college, we're gonna put you through school, and we're gonna run this business, that type thing.
Correct.
But again, it goes back to, the people that he also, LeBron James, that is having his ear.
His circle.
Right. Those, he said it was those friends that were like, hey, no, we're going this way. Hey, no, we're going that way. Versus, but look at Ruggs.
Yeah.
Because this is part of a deeper issue. You
Correct.
don't just do what he did.
No.
He's been doing it. This was just, it all caught up, I think.
But I think that you have to have true people in your circle. You got to have people that's going to tell you the good and the bad, and they're going to give you the options. And you got to vet people.
They're going to love and support you.
Exactly.
It's going to be like, look, this is where your shit stinks, but they're still going to be right there by your side, helping you, get through it. And that's, don't ever forget this. You don't ever get to know somebody. You just get to know what they want you to know.
Exactly.
And then you better hope that you can live with what you find out.
Correct.
That's the reality. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We gave you the NFL picks. Michigan is smashing. They're up like 25 points, 4 minutes or so to go in the game. Be good to yourself. Subscribe, share the content, and hit us up with some comments. And absolutely, try this H. Upman Vintage Blue Havana 2 Alpharetta. That's where you can get this.
Wow. Enjoy, my friends. Well, this motherfucker breathing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, mine's just getting ready to start breathing. It was really good. How long has it been sitting?
Well, at least a couple of years.
Wow.
Did y'all find these in the humidor sometime?
No, we're slowly picking away stuff that's not moving.
And this was in there?
Yes, in the clearance humidor now. Only the torpedoes. The regular ones sell, but people aren't buying the torpedo version, so the torpedoes are in there.
And how much are these going for?
Oh, I forget. $11 minus the 30% off.
Wow.
Maybe guys just don't like that pointed effect in their mouth.
But it's so funny because a lot of people don't know about Cameroon.
They don't know about Cameroon.
And so because they don't know about it, they don't pick it. But I'll pick a Cameroon any day.
The Rocky Ed Sumatra, my favorite rock.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. Cue it up.